feeling cleaner than I ever would be. It's cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. The fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dog. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And guys, I want to talk about why people are not watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think that we all kind of know, but let's really dig deep into the reasons why. I definitely want to hear you guys' opinion on this. I know that I have someone coming up with me later on, and eventually over here with me on this. But let's talk about why people are not watching this show. Because how do y'all feel about it? While we're doing the intro, drop down in the comments, let me know on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you guys feel about it? But before we do that, let's jump into the business of this channel. If you want to join my tribe, please do my site, go ahead and subscribe. Turn your notifications, turn them on all so you're notified every time I go live. Like the video, share the video, comment down here in the comment section, then comment over here in the chat. Share this video, y'all, and then let's get into it. Let's go.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
All right, y'all, I am back. So we are here to talk about the Housewives of Atlanta and why people are just not watching the show. Now, as you guys know, that me and NOLA were reviewing the show, and it just hasn't really happened. But I feel like there's a few things that are happening here that we need to talk about when it comes to this show, because the real reason is because it's boring. Okay, boring. On top of that, it's made up beef. What's going on, Miss Wilson? It's made up beef. There's this attack on Candy going on. As you guys know, I have a good rapport with Candy, and it doesn't make sense to me. Let's travel back down the road of Housewives of Atlanta, and let's talk about the difference between then and now, because there's something that's missing, and can we put our fingers on what's happening here? Okay. Hey, what's going on, Brittany? Give me 1 second here. I'll blow my nose. All right, sorry, my allergies are acting up right now. But let's talk about what's really happening here and why people are really not watching the show. One is boring, okay? I haven't watched some. I've watched 3 episodes. I really can't remember what even happened. To be honest, the people that are here, if you have not, let me see what the likes is looking like real quick, so I can see who's actually going to be here to participate. Because I'm going to need y'all's participation on this. My nose is so stuffy. All right, so we got 11 likes. So this allergy season, oh my God, Brady is so out of control. Like, I just sound so stuffy. But who's here in the chat right now? What do you guys think, like, as far as why people are not watching the show while the ratings are so low? What do you guys think? I'll tell you mine while you guys are commenting in the chat. For me, it's boring. Like, literally, I can't remember what's happening. Nothing really stands out. And this is no shade to anyone on the show because, to be honest, Kenya, for me, Candy, is the only way I can really remember this one, even on the show. When I think about like Sanya and Drew and Sheree, those are the 5 people I can remember. My favorites are Kenya and Candy, but I can't remember what the hell even happened on the damn show. So when you're watching this show, are you watching the full episode? Are you like listening but doing stuff on your phone? Like, what happens when you watch the show? Because for me, literally, I think I'm on my phone the entire time. I feel like I hear what's happening, but I'm not watching it. Like, there's no urgency for me to watch the show. So are you guys doing any of that? And I want to break down for me why I think that it's just not good outside of the show being boring. While I wait for you guys to do it, let me go ahead and play my commercial for my students really quick. If you guys want to donate to that while I wait for you guys, y'all better comment in this chat. Okay. Oh, over here, comment in that chat. So let me play that, and while I'm waiting for you guys to comment. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy SoDebNair, and I'm here to talk to you guys about something that I think is so fantastic. Remain Teachable, one of my subscribers, is graduating on July the 23rd, and she came up with something I think is so amazing and something that is going to help my students out so much. We are trying to raise $723. This $723 will go to my students' uniforms for the 2023-2024 school year. So what we're asking is that you donate $7.23. If we can reach this, it would be so amazing and be so helpful for my students to get uniforms, because some kids only have one polo, one pair of pants, and thought this was so amazing. And I'm so excited about this. We already have donations already, but I'm hoping that you guys help us reach this goal by July the 23rd. So again, you can log on to SoDebNair.com, drop that $7.23, and we will make sure that you guys get to find out their end results by July the 23rd. Thank you so much in advance, and let's do it. All right. I'm out, y'all. Bye. All right, so you guys can definitely do that through my Cash App at this point, because we're going to miss the deadline for July, because we're in the month of June. But let's get into the reason why I feel like the show is just not doing it very well. Miss Wilson, Brittany, I'm waiting for you guys to comment in the chat as well. Anybody else is over here in the bushes? Okay, Miss Wilson says, it's the made-up beast for me. I'm not feeling it. And like you said, the cast is boring. Exactly. Love Candy and Kenya, same here. So do you guys remember when the show actually started and what the show looked like? For me, there were like real friendships here, right? And let's say that Kenya and Candy actually have this, right? Then you have Drew, you have Sanya, Sheree's there. But Sheree's not a friend to anybody. Brittany says, I watch while I'm working out. So it's fine for that, but it's just not exciting. Yes, okay. You know what I'm saying? Sheree's there, but she's just not exciting. I don't know why they keep bringing Sheree back. Oh, I forgot Marlo's there. Then you have Marlo that's there, and Marlo is not exciting at all. Like, to be honest, I like Marlo as a friend of the show. I don't want Marlo. I don't want to see her fake stories with her nephews, who she kicked out last season, told me to get the fuck out. Like, it's just not grabbing my attention. And then you have this girl Courtney over here. I don't know if she's even a real housewife or she's a part of the cast. Is she in the credits? I have no idea. they probably should start off with Drew and Rouse, their divorce stuff that's going on. But then you have a lot of stuff that's going on outside of the actual Real Housewives of Atlanta, the cast, that is way more interesting that we want to see. And I'll tell you one person I never want to see on the show again, but I do want to see this because I feel like because she's called these girls ghetto so much is freaking Kim. So that I do want to see the episode with Lisa Wu and Deshaun Snow. Deshaun Snow is one of my favorite people when the show actually has started. And I know that she is divorced now, but I want to see Deshaun Snow's story because for me, she was like the ultimate situation of a housewife for me. So I want to see Deshaun Snow's story after her divorce. Did she win any money from the divorce settlement? But it was like a real housewife show. You know what I'm saying? So we got to see like what housewives really look like when that season had happened. Nene definitely gave us a different perspective of a housewife. Kim was a side piece. Sheree was going through a divorce. Lisa Wu was a housewife. Like it was a show that was actually we could watch. Hold on, y'all. It was a show we were able to watch, and now it's just like, what made this up? Like for real? Why are we even here still? Senya with her clown house, and when I say clown house, you know how you have a clown car? Sanya has a clown house where like everybody live in this damn house, and like everybody, like how did they all even fit in this house? The brother-in-law is working for her. The sister is upset about it. It's not drawing me to watch the damn show. Hey, sis.
Hey, you caught me in between jobs.
This ain't gonna be long.
Okay.
But it's not drawing me to watch the show. Why do you feel like people are not watching the show?
I think it's two reasons. I think people are instead of evolving with the show and realizing that some people are not gonna come back. I think they're looking for it to be what it was, and they look every week to complain that Nene's no longer here, Phaedra's no longer here, Portia's no longer here.
Mm-hmm.
When you gotta give the new cast a chance, right? It's drama. It's drama. But I think a lot of people are looking for that old dynamic, and that show is the show is not going to go back to the old dynamic. For one, I think it's safe to say I don't think Nene is going to ever come back, especially after the lawsuit against Bravo. I don't think she's ever going to come back. I don't think they're ever going to work with her. I
Phaedra moved
love
to America.
Nene. It's no shade to Nene. I love Nene, but the facts are the facts.
And
Um,
Phaedra's moved on to Married to Medicine.
Phaedra's moving to married to medicine.
And Portia will be
And
back.
I think the dynamic that everybody want to see with Phaedra, I don't think that everybody just want to have Phaedra on the show. I think the dynamic that they want to see if Phaedra come back is the showdown between Phaedra and Candy. And Candy has already said if Phaedra comes back,
She's
she's gone. So you're still not going to get to see the dynamic that you're hoping to see.
right.
So I think, they need to let that go. I think Bravo don't need to bring Solo Cup Kim back.
Yep.
And I think Marlo needs to be gone because her antics is doing too much. Why people liked Marlo was because of who Marlo was prior to getting her peach.
Right.
And Marlo's not acting like she's the OG. For me, Marlo, even though she was friend of, for all of those years, she was an OG of the show. And she came on acting like the newbies of the show who
Yeah.
had to earn their check, and she's causing unnecessary drama. And I'm going to be honest, I really have checked out after she did what she did to Drew and trying to paint the line between what happened to Candy's nephew and her nephew. When, girl, just say y'all didn't have enough money to pay for the funeral and you wanted Candy to pay for the funeral. Candy didn't owe you that. Marlo is doing too much for me, and she always trying to use somebody's child for a storyline, and I'm not here for it. Canned peach, rotten peach, peach pit, whatever you want to call her, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for her antics and what she's doing. It, it's beyond disgusting. I'm not here for the new lady Courtney. Drew worked on my nerves talking about cousin Courtney and cousin Courtney and
She
girl.
didn't
We
even
don't
know that was her
talk
cousin.
about cousin Courtney.
She didn't even know that was her cousin.
Exactly. And to me, she was doing too much trying to impress somebody who is not worth impressing, in my opinion, especially now that we know she ain't even your cousin no more because you getting a divorce.
Right.
I'm not here for she by she not in the hotel line. I'm just not interested in that.
She
The
got a hotel
relationship
line.
gives that hotel. I'm because he's a hoe.
Oh.
Okay,
Wait a
I'm
minute.
not
I
interested
understand.
in the relationship when you see it play out on screen on both Roja and LAMA gives a paid relationship for a storyline. It does not give a real relationship. Nothing about them gives that they sexing each other down. I mean, it probably would be some good sex, but nothing about that gives that. And everybody just coming at Candy like that don't give nothing either.
At
Because
all.
coming at it'd be one thing if it was legitimate beef versus ganged up group beef. And I've never group not amongst grown people. My friend mad with you, so I'm mad with you. Not when y'all 50 and about to be collecting social security. We not acting like this. Act like an adult, not juniors and seniors and sophomores in high school.
Right. I want to read a few of these comments really quick. Brittany M says, I watched while, oh no, I read this one already. Dia Ross says, Marlo is running it for me. Busy says, agree, they are not evolving with the show. Talking about the people that are watching the show. And then Dia Ross says, Marlo banging on Kenya's door and then saying, put Britt in another room. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's like Marlo's doing so much to try to fit in on this show when she already did enough as a friend of the show. I feel like she's trying to do something that she doesn't need to do that we already kind of liked about her before she came onto the show. But I
Right.
also I want to kind of travel back into the time of Housewives and think about what's happening. The reason why we do like Candy, we like King, is because they actually have businesses and things going on. Sanya's so worried about Kenya and Candy and Drew. Like we can't even learn who she is as an individual because she's so pressed about something that she doesn't have to be. Like, girl, you are is it a gold medalist, Olympic star? Is it gold medal?
Well, it don't matter because they so old. It was so long ago. They rusty at this point.
But still, I mean, we can still give her the credit for that because I mean, Kenya was Miss
I mean,
what
and
it was.
so
Because I
long
don't
ago.
want to say
It don't,
America
I
or
don't
USA
even.
was the wrong one.
I
But
don't
we can
even
still
know
give
if
her
it's
the credit for
if
that. But Kenya never came in like with this like I need a space, I need to be a part of or anything. Kenya came in as her own person. And that's how saintship came into me.
listen, I am not here for saying yeah, they can let her go because at the end of the day, it's contrived beef. Like I would be interested in seeing Sanya show her actual reality. Your
Yeah.
husband is aggravated with them all them people in his
And
house.
nothing else.
Sanya had a reality show prior to being on Roja, where your husband got mad with you because you didn't get his mama and grandmother nothing for Valentine's Day because you was handling your own business. Have enough dynamic of your own. That brother-in-law disrespected your sister and basically said she ain't SHIT and called her a B and all of this, everything else that was done on your show. Now he's pretending to work for you, but he's fired now. He quit whatever it was because he don't really want to work. Everybody has an attitude with Sanya when Sanya want to put her foot down. However, all y'all living and mooching off of her.
Right.
What bills are y'all paying in that house? Like she has an actual storyline on her own within her family dynamic that she does not need to do what she's doing on the show. And I think if she showed that reality, the people would be endeared to her more. Not saying that they would like her, but we will respect whatever your reality is because that's what we want to see. What you're giving
Right.
us right now is foolery.
Right. Brandy M says, Sanya is so disappointing. I was excited when she joined the show, but she's not adding anything. And then I want to drop down to Sheree. Sheree has been the brokest. I think Kenya said it best. She's broke bitch behavior for me. And like, we don't know how Sheree paying for this house. She by Sheree, we waited for this for so many years. Then we found out it was like Sheen by Sheree. Sheree is not adding a damn thing to this show. She brought Martell over here, which I don't mind seeing Martell. He's eye candy for me personally. But outside of that, we know it's like a scam that Todd has set up to come to us with the bullshit. And this is like, wow.
They are
Like,
Martell or bishop level scams. Okay, that's beyond Todd's scope. This is the bishop robbery level scam. Bishop, what has Sheree ever really added to this show?
nothing.
Nothing. Beginning
That's
to
why they keep
end.
bringing her in and out, in and out, in and out of the show, because she can't even provide a damn storyline. She comes in as a bone collector, even claim the name bone collector. So when it comes to Sheree, it's just like, I don't understand. Maybe because she needs to make a new payment on the chateau, but outside of that, like, why is Sheree freaking there? BJ, this is, I have not even watched Roa, like, and that's the thing. It's like, no one is like really invested in the show because they're not giving us anything. There's no real friends over here besides Kenya and Candy, and everybody wants them off the show. So, but then y'all have all the other cast over here that y'all don't even like. So then, what the hell do y'all want? Get us some other people.
They're never gonna be
People
pleased.
that people are like,
We need Phaedra and Portia back, and that's how I feel. They're never gonna be
we're
pleased.
not. Phaedra's never coming back. Phaedra's never coming back. We need to let that go.
I think they might start of getting Portia back, but that's it. And at the end of the day, Portia back with a new dynamic, she's still gonna have to work her way into that dynamic. And the fact of the matter is, whenever Portia comes back, when she get into a beef with somebody is gonna bring up how she got that husband, and Portia does not want to face that. Portia will go on other shows, but she doesn't want to face it, which is why Portia did not come back the very next season, because she doesn't want to face that. And the Roja fans need her to face it, period. She's going to have to answer questions about it. And the thing about it is, those ladies are going to ask the real questions.
Yep.
You can bring up Fallon cheating all you want to bring up. For a lot of people, it's not the issue about Fallon cheating. For a lot of women, it comes off as you broke girl code. She has said several times she slid in Simon's DM to see if he was all right. But if you were supposed to be Fallon's co-worker at most, right? You should have checked in with Fallon, not Simon. On top of the fact that you said you Simon, from him and Dennis working together, it just gives homie hopping. And you don't want to answer to that, which is why she didn't come back. She wants to come back, but she's afraid of the questions that she's going to have to answer facing the cast. You can't come at Sanya, well, Kenya, because her and Kenya always has the back and forth. You can't come at Kenya about Mark when you have assignment. You can't come at Candy about Todd when you have assignment, and you don't want that to be touched. So Portia's not going to even come back and give real Portia, because she's going to want to tread lightly, because she don't want to face those girls.
But for me, it's just like this, and I think we were talking about this, what the basketball did, we just did. It's like you gave all this energy before you came, before your like down, like your bad part, and now all of a sudden, like you skip the show, and then you don't be questioned about your shit. Like this, we've been following you all this time. Like you got to give us a time to like adjust to this. My thing is, don't run from it. Like get ahead of the shit. Busy says, y'all think Candy appreciates the in your face beef Marlo gives, or the stab you in the back beef Phaedra gives? I don't think that she appreciates any of it. And to be honest, I just feel like it's a lot of jealousy for me, in my own personal opinion, when it comes down to this, because they're like, oh, well, Candy does it, Candy can do it, Candy, all this stuff. Girl, to step your damn game up so that you can do what Candy can do. Because Marlo can't come onto this show with no damn storyline. You done kicked your damn kids off, your nephews off the show, and not only did you come over to them, get the fuck out your house. So we already have dismissed your ass. And then Phaedra for me is just another person where it would be hard for her to come back to the show because of what happened with her with the whole Portia thing. Portia stuck around though. That's why I have to appreciate Portia a little bit, because even though that happened with Portia, because the reality was is that Carlos King was the one who said that to allegedly said that to Phaedra, and she told it to him. But then why not come back to the show if you didn't lie or you ain't guilty?
I'm gonna say this. I don't think Candy appreciates neither, but I don't think, and y'all might be mad at me for this, but I'm gonna just call it the way I see it. I also don't think that Candy wants to face Phaedra because she's going to have to admit she put a lot on Phaedra too, that I personally don't believe is true. Like, you were my friend, you were housing my husband's stuff that the police and the FBI were coming to my house looking for, and I'm crying to you about it. And your excuse for not saying anything was, well, Todd and Apollo made that arrangement. I'm sorry for the plane, y'all. I just got off of work and I have to come take a step outside. So I apologize for that. Um, but at the end of the day, the same way Todd and Apollo were friends, Candy and Phaedra was friends. And she really did Phaedra a disservice. And then saying Phaedra sent the FBI to her house, I personally don't believe that's true. Because we know for a fact that Phaedra didn't know the items were at her house until it was shown on air. And Apollo being under FBI
You Candy
investigation,
or Phaedra?
investigating and watching everything
Like Candy
connected.
or Phaedra did know.
Right, Candy knew, but Phaedra didn't know.
Okay.
And because when they got into it about it, and Phaedra was like, you had the stuff at your house and you knew they were coming to my house. And she said, well, that didn't have anything to do with me. That was an arrangement between Todd and Apollo. But the fact of the matter is, y'all had a friendship too. And I'm coming to you saying that the FBI was at my house looking for this stuff. And you never said anything. And then you turn around and say she sent the FBI to your house. Well, how could she send the FBI to your house if she didn't know this stuff was at your house? So when she found out, when it played out on the show, and you and Todd talking about it, that man was under FBI investigation. You think they wasn't watching the show to see what they wasn't gonna see and what they wasn't gonna find out? So I can't say that we said for sure that Phaedra sent them, because they could have gotten the information right out of you and Todd's mouth because y'all said it on the show. And so I think on that end, Candy did Phaedra a disservice. The FBI looking at her house with her and her children, and you know what they're looking for is at your house, is wrong. So I don't think she want to face her wrong parts in doing what she did either. On top of, before the RAP, the grape juice and allegations came out, y'all had OLG opening and y'all let this woman come when her and Phaedra Apollo wasn't even divorced yet, and she's going through what she was going through with him. It gives backstabbing. So the backstabbing
But
went
she
both
didn't do
ways
that
to
though.
me.
I don't know if you muted, but let me read Brittany's comment while I'm waiting on you. Brittany says, "I just
I
want to
didn't
see
hear
the
what you
cast
said.
all
I'm
together. I
sorry.
think that we need famous people in Atlanta, and we don't. We didn't know most of the original cast when the show started. Just get some fun new girls." And Busy says, "I agree with you, sis. Candy blames everyone else when she does something wrong. It'll never be Candy's fault. It never has anything to do with Candy. It's her excuse." Hmm.
And then
Um.
another thing I want from Candy, what I want her to do is be real and address situations. Hey, sis, like, I don't know about anybody else or how they felt about it, but the last episode I watched, when Don Juan was saying what happened at BravoCon, everything was going good, and then they had to deal with the BS that Mama Joyce did. And I understand when you birth children, you feel a certain type of way about them. But the fact that she said Kayla was the one who called Todd, but in her confessional, she said about Blaze and Ace will see this one day, which is true. And I'm not overlooking Blaze and Ace, but I need her to address how this affects Kayla and how it hurts Kayla as well. She never seen Candy truly address Mama Joyce, how Mama Joyce said Candy had one beautiful daughter instead of accepting and embracing a child. And she did that in front of that child's face. We've
But is she
never
allowed
seen her
to address
address,
Kayla?
we've never seen her address Kayla's pain or Kayla's hurt that
No,
she
no. Wait,
by hearing her mama.
we have seen that. We have
When
seen.
did you see it? I missed it. Jog my memory.
So I think it was maybe like 2 seasons ago when she was like they were going. Todd and her were going back and forth because Todd was like, I mean, he was like, you give Riley everything, and she was like, well, you don't let me do anything for Kayla. So for me, I just feel like Todd doesn't give her the opportunity to do anything for Kayla. I I think every time I even mention this show, I always talk about that because I feel like Todd is like the biggest holdup for her because she had to work at OLG. Like she had to do all these things to get anything. She could never just receive anything.
I'm not
He wanted to buy
speaking
her
of,
a car. Todd wanted her to do that. Like, so for me, I think in that space, I just feel like it's not a Candy situation. I think it's a Todd situation because Todd wants her to work because he doesn't want Kayla to fall under Mama Joyce's "oh well, Candy did for her" situation. I do
no,
want to go back up a little bit more
that's
before
not what I'm speaking
let
about.
me go back up a little bit more. So I also feel like this when it does come to Candy, and I'm going to be a little bit biased. I feel like this. Um, wait, the it was something.
But we're speaking
I
different
don't
things.
feel like it, I don't feel like Kitty blames everybody else, but there's clearly a smear campaign when it comes from Marlo and Sheree when it comes to Candy for me. Like if it wasn't a Marlo or a
No, no, no.
Sheree
I'm
deal,
not speaking. I'm not speaking on Marlo or Sheree, and we're speaking on two different things.
okay.
I'm speaking on that. I'm saying, but that's a genuine issue that would be a real thing because that's a real thing. I'm not speaking on what Ty said about Candy spoiling Kayla financially. I understand that. I understand that. And I watched the speak on it with DJ A1 where he had Kayla on there. She said she dealt with a lot of trauma based on things that people were saying and the things that Mama Joyce have said. That's what I'm speaking on. The emotional part about it, not the financial part about it. That's what I'm saying she needs to address and put her mom in her place for. Not disrespectfully. I don't want her to disrespect her mom, but she needs to let her mom know, like, how would you feel if somebody was doing this to Riley, making Riley feel this way when speaking about me? I'm speaking about the emotionally traumatic parts of it. I'm not speaking about the financial and Todd not wanting her to be spoiled, which part of that I believe Todd doesn't want her to be spoiled and Candy to do the extra because then it goes along with the narrative of Todd just taking Candy money.
Right.
So I understand that from Todd's point of view. On top of it, you need to know how to make money yourself. I get that. I'm not speaking about that. But what I'm speaking about is you said specifically Ace and Blaze are going to have to see this one day. They're not seeing it right now. And I understand her concern about that. But to not speak to the fact that I feel bad that Kayla had to see this and call her dad about it. If she called her dad about it, it bothered her. That's what I'm speaking about.
Wait,
Don't
maybe I
dismiss
missed something. What
that
she call her dad
emotion.
about?
Huh?
Maybe I missed something. What she call her dad about?
When Mama Joyce was saying the stuff about BravoCon, and she was
Oh,
talking about,
okay.
and it hit the media. When
Okay.
Candy and Don Juan were talking about it, and in the scene, Candy said that Kayla was the one who called Todd and told her about it, which
Mhm.
prompted Todd to call Candy about it. That's a real life issue they are having, which that's a part of a storyline to me that we need to see. What I'm saying is, I would like to see Candy address it. Don't get in the confessional and just speak on blazing ace seeing it in the future when right now your bonus daughter is dealing with it and she felt some type of way about it, which is why she called her dad to talk about it. Don't dismiss that she's the one who called her dad. Address it.
But is she allowed to?
Address
That's my
it.
thing. Like, it's to me, what comes off to me is this, and I see Busy saying this. I see other people in the chat saying this. I feel like Kenny's not really allowed to have like a lot of input with Kayla. So I feel like she just speaks on their kid or her own kid when it
Ty,
comes to these conversations.
Ty
Because,
cannot control Candy.
huh?
No, you're making excuses for her. Ty cannot control Candy when anything that comes to her mom. And that is nothing that Candy really have to go to Todd about. That is
I
something
just
that
feel like it
Candy needs
causes
to address
confusion in the
with her
relationship.
mom. I don't need your mom. Listen, I have a bonus daughter. And when my mama was saying, I
And I know why you feel strong about
have
it. I know
this
that.
many grandchildren, listen, I didn't I didn't need to go. I didn't need to go to my partner who I was with at the time to discuss anything about me telling my mom, hey, this is my daughter
Mm.
too, and you're going to accept her. You are not going to speak ill about her mom or her dad. You're not going to do that. You are not going to come to my house for Christmas with presents for them and don't have a present for her. That's what I'm speaking to. You don't have to go to Tide for that. That is wrong for Mama Joyce to be doing what she's doing that affects this child. And you know it affects her and you don't say anything about it. That is what I'm saying. Don't ignore her pain. Don't ignore her hurt. Yes, Blazing Ace will see it one day, but we're not going to acknowledge, like, just overlook the child that sees it today and spoke about it.
For me, I guess personally, I wouldn't be surprised if Candy does things in the back end because of the conversation between Todd and Mama Joyce. Because when she does things publicly, they hate that. For me, hearing how Todd feels about it, and even how Mama Joyce feels about Todd, which I know that trickles down to Kayla. So for me, I wouldn't be surprised if Kayla says later on in life, like, Kenny did stuff for me behind the scenes, and
She's
that's why you don't really hear her say anything about it because
he's already said Candy has done things for her behind the scenes that her dad didn't know. I'm not speaking about Candy
it's,
doing anything for her.
but
I'm not
see,
speaking
but I'm
about
just
that
saying
at
I feel
all.
like that's a rock and a hard place for me hearing this conversation because again, she's battling Mama Joyce and Todd. Like Todd doesn't want her to do anything, and I'm sure Mama Joyce is in the same place because of Todd.
I'm not speaking about her doing anything. I'm speaking about her saying something.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, doing that's what I'm saying. The same thing. I'm not saying like financially. I'm just saying like speaking up or anything because it feels like she's not allowed to.
Listen, but there, if you saw somebody doing wrong, right?
Mhm.
Let's say you get with somebody and they have a kid. You've spoken about your bonus daughter and your grandson. If your mom was doing something to make them feel a type of way, right is right and wrong is wrong, and I know enough about your character that it wouldn't matter what your partner said. You would have a conversation with your mom, right or wrong.
Well, I don't in Candy space. I don't know that because I feel like her mom's not even on that same page. So it's just like the battle
It
between
has
both of
nothing to
them.
do with a
You know,
financial level.
huh?
It has nothing to do with a
I'm not
financial
saying I'm not
level.
even saying financially. It just feels like she's not allowed to say or do anything when it comes together. To me personally, watching the show, it doesn't seem like Ken's allowed to do anything. I mean, think about when his mom was alive. Like it was such a battle for Ken to be a part of Kayla's life. And I feel like a lot of this comes from the way that Mama Joyce feels about Todd. So her speaking up for Kayla or doing anything for Kayla, it would make her look bad to Todd because of Mama Joyce. To me, the issue is Mama Joyce. That's what I'm saying, basically.
But that also speaks to Mama's Joyce character because I
Absolutely.
cannot like
Absolutely.
somebody, but I'm not going to treat a child bad. And to me, right is right, wrong is wrong. And I would not care what my husband would say. I would not allow my mother to inflict emotional trauma upon a child. Period. You speak on it. Candy can speak on everything else. Then you can speak to your mama about the disrespect that she gives to this child. Well, she's a grown woman now. But the fact that she even said, and I have that speak on it, I'll send it to you. She said that she has emotional trauma. She was also asked about the parenting difference between Candy and her dad. She says she would choose in the middle of the two because she recognizes what her dad has done. She said, and she's had to have conversations with Todd where she's had to tell him, I don't need you to be business minded. I need you to be a dad. So she says she would pick in the medium. But to me, I don't think that the family was ever blended from the beginning. The fact that Riley is in New York and her and Kayla don't hang out, they don't talk, they don't do anything. And it's because Riley looks her nose down. She feels she's better. Mama Joyce has made her feel she's better. So
I feel like,
all I'm saying is these are questions that people in the public talk about.
but you have to
So
think
if
about the
we see
conversation
it
that Mama Joyce had
addressed
with her too. Like,
on the show,
if
it
something
would be a
happens with
better.
Candy, where does the money go? They've had this conversation on the show. And for me, I feel like Mama Joyce, for me, is the poison in this conversation. I'm sorry, Candy, if you ever see this, but I feel like she's the poison in this situation. But it also makes a disconnection from Riley and also Candy when it comes down to this conversation. I feel like they just have a lot of respect and think about like black families. You know, your mother and your grandmother, they just sometimes they trump a lot of things about how you feel, how you do things. And even when you said like I said, I know the Candace said things behind the scenes. To do that behind the scenes for me says a lot. But for me, I just think it all stems from Mama Joyce. I don't really blame her, Candy, for that, or even Riley for real, because I feel like they just don't want their loyalty because that's their grandmother, their mother, just is somewhere where they never really had to make a decision outside of her, and it just seems wrong for them. And G Mama, before I do understand what she said, I'm just giving a different perspective because I understand this battle. To be honest, in my marriage that I've had, I've seen this before. So that's why I'm giving different perspectives of this conversation because it's a hard conversation when you are battling a mother of someone who's controlling and then your relationship. That's all I'm really saying.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, as an adult, when you step out and you create your own family, that family trumps everything.
Facts.
And right is right, wrong is wrong, regardless of who's saying it. And a lot of people in black families go ahead and let Big Mama and them say whatever they want to say, but it does not negate the fact that they are wrong. They are ignorant in their train of thought, and it needs to be addressed. They don't need to keep continue thinking that the BS that they're doing is right or acceptable, or that somebody has to accept it. And I'm just saying, as a married woman, I'm not married, but as a married woman, at some point you have to put your foot down. Mama Joyce don't want nobody with Candy because Mama Joyce think it's gonna cut off what Candy does for her, or God forbid that Candy close her eyes, is gonna cut into what she gonna get. And it's crazy to me that she thinks she's gonna outlive her daughter to spend her daughter's money. That's a problem. But my whole point in bringing any of that up is that's real life situations. I believe that they have these conversations behind scenes, but what we get is contrived stuff on the show. And what my whole point of bringing it up once again is to say if we were having these real conversations, because that's y'all reality, I think people would be into the show a little bit more because there are people who deal with these situations on a daily basis. It's relatable and it would make the show better.
Let me say this. I'm not disagreeing with you. And I don't know if you understand. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just giving the other perspective of how this works for some families when it does come down to this. And we've watched this on the show of how this worked in their family. That's all I'm really saying. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just giving the other other perspective and what it looks like when it comes to a controlling mother like Mama Joyce. Like, we've seen how controlling that she is on this show. That's all I'm saying.
Right. But I also feel like Candy is complicit in the disrespect. Remember when Mama Sharon was on the show? Rest in peace. Good evening, KMG. How are you, my love? When Mama Joyce was on when Mama Sharon was on the show,
Right.
and Mama Joyce had spewed all of that hatred until Mama Sharon couldn't take it no more. And
Right.
she said, and Candy wasn't getting her mama. She wasn't really checking her mama. She was just like, Mama, Mama. And then when Mama Sharon got heated and said, wait a minute, then it was Todd, get your mama. Your mama. They had a whole argument about her mama, his mama, calling her mama a bitch, which she was being, which she deserved to be called. So
I'm
there's
agreeing. I'm agreeing with all that. I'm
there's
just
a
saying
difference in your
there's a
mom's
certain amount of
behavior.
control
And
that's
I just
there.
don't feel like she's putting her foot down behind the scenes truly, because if she did, we wouldn't get what we get publicly.
Right. Absolutely. But there's a certain amount of control that's there for Mama Joyce that people who have never experienced that will never understand. That's all I'm saying. And whether we feel like it's wrong, whether we feel like it's right, we can't take Candy out of that space, because for her, her mom has been everything. She's been in through her entire life. She's been in through all these things, personally and everything. I mean, we watched her through AJ. We watched her through Todd. We watched her with Todd's mom, and we watched her with Kayla. The fact that she had to sneak and do things like these are all signs of Mama Joyce being very controlling when it comes down to this. So yes, it is Candy's fault because she's an adult, but also I just think that there should be a little bit of room to understand her controlling mom. That's it.
And I'm not saying that I don't understand it. Like I said, my whole point of bringing it up was to say this is a real life situation in your life. And if we on a reality TV show, I think I would rather see them tackle these issues than to see her writing how busy she is on the calendar. We know she's booked and busy. I don't care about that.
I feel like that's why Candy's always gone all the time, so she doesn't have to even be there.
And this is not the first time we've seen it. And just going with the circle of life, not wishing anything on Mama Joyce, but going with the circle of life with her age, she has more days behind her than ahead of her. And I believe Candy really loves Ty. I believe Ty really loves Candy. But what happened when Ty gets to his breaking point? If he gets to a breaking point and he decides he's going to walk away, what happens when your mama keep saying all of this nasty stuff about him and he say, listen, I don't want, if your mama have to say all of this nasty stuff about me, that's cool, but you go and deal with your people, I'ma stay at home. Or he don't want Blaze and Ace around that to hear all that negative stuff about him, then
Right.
Candy's gonna have a problem about that, and we're gonna hear about it. It's going to be vocal. It's going to be on the show, but we're not addressing all the disrespect that led up to it.
I still think she gonna stand by her mom though.
Oh, I believe she's going to stand by her mom, and she's going to feel like Todd is 100% wrong and he would be 100% right. At the end of the day, you still calling this man a bum when, let's be clear, Candy met him on a job, a production job that he's been doing for years. He had his own production company. Now, he might have not have been no millionaire like Candy, but she didn't go get Joe Blow who driving a bus or working at a restaurant. He had money. On top of that, OLG was that man's idea. Let's not act like Aunt Bertha and them not getting no check for being the face of that, which was if Ty would have never been in the picture and came up with the idea, that wouldn't have been a check adding to your pocket. So let's stop with the disrespect and playing him like that. But once again, my whole point of bringing any of this up is his real reality on the show. It would be a
I think it's the reality of their family dynamic, because I feel like even in their personal life, she doesn't like him. I feel like she's not put on no show because she's concerned about if something happens to Candy, where does the money go? To be honest, I hate to say that, but we saw that even with the Don Juan conversation and the Riley conversation with her being married to Todd and all that stuff. Like she's worried about where that money goes if something happens to Candy, and I believe we're watching reality.
Okay, but if that's the sense, then you are doubting your job and what you did as a mother because you should know your daughter well enough to know how you raised her and how to handle her business. Do we really think Candy don't have fail safe seasons? Even in that prenup, Ty got to get out the house immediately. She's not gonna play about her money. She's not gonna play about what Riley and what she's built to create for Riley to have. Now, but once again, to sit up here and say that Blaze and Ace don't deserve equal amounts as Riley do, because Todd is their dad and he has their dad and Riley dad, that doesn't, what Riley dad did have no saying on what Blaze and Ace should get because Riley dad was a bum. And I think saying Riley dad was a bum is an excuse. Don't want those children to have what Riley have because they are part of an extension of Todd. And that's horrible.
Which
And it
means
needs to be addressed.
she also sees value in Todd if she can even say that. But she doesn't want to admit that because Mama Joyce is so strong on him not being a good person and wanting her money that she says stuff like this, but not realizing that what you're saying is if Riley deserves more than them, then you know there's some type of value, and then she's also financially thinking about this. But let's also talk about the fact that he's been there for Riley. I just don't think he's shown the best father-son or father-daughter relationship when it comes to Kayla at all on the show. And I feel like it gives her more ammunition to treat her worse.
I don't, what I see on their dynamic as far as the show
Mhm.
is Todd trying to show the people of the world him and his daughter won't be touching off Candy.
No, that's what I said.
You know, and we know that their relation did have some tumultuous stuff, but if I follow Kayla outside of the show. Her and Ty take pictures together all the time. They are always together all the time. They have a real dynamic. Like, I didn't appreciate when Bravo listed what Candy had versus what Todd had. Talking about just that New Jersey penthouse when Todd has a whole production company, TTP, Todd Tucker Productions. We left that out. That's going to go to Kayla. And
Right.
I didn't feel like what Todd was saying in that situation was wrong. He wasn't advocating for money to go to him. He was trying to set up a plan where you get so much money at this age, you get so much money at this age, and you get so much money at this age. And I guess I understand it because that's how I have my stuff set up for my kids. Because let's be clear, getting millions of dollars at 21, you will not make the decisions that you will make at 28. You will not make the same decisions that you would make at 35. And I think he understands that. And he was setting up a safeguard for them that they didn't even realize because they think he's trying to take it when he was saying, set up the paperwork where they get so much at a time because they'll be more financially responsible. That was the smart decision. That's smart. That's not trying to take anything from Mama Joyce or take anything from Riley. It would still be there in an account that's held for her.
I don't
But
think
when
that
you
even
listen, we
like
are not going to act like, and this is no disrespect to Candy, Mama Joyce, or Riley. We're not going to act like Riley is going to make the best decisions. I found it very heartbreaking that Ace had to show Riley how to clean up. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I think Candy needs to take some of what Todd is doing to make Kayla responsible, right? And incorporate it in her parenting with Riley. And I also think that Todd needs to take some of what Kayla's doing in the fact that we are able to provide and help them get a better life and help them have a better head start in life. And they don't have to struggle. We can use our connections to help them get what they get. I think they would be the best of both worlds if they were accepting to each other's parenting policies in the middle because they both bring good points.
I feel like Todd is hard on Kayla, to be honest. And yes, I think that his parenting skills, the reason why he wants her to learn those things, but I also feel like Candy's doing a different way than Todd is doing it. Like she's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy you an apartment in New York, but she's also going to school to be an attorney, where it's all the way paid for. Kayla's working at OLG. Like for me, that was just really discouraging to watch that for me personally. Because and then like even when Kenny's trying to give her money or buy her a car, Todd is like, no, none of that. She needs to work for it. Oh, something she should be allowed to have. Like she should
I
be able to.
agree. I agree. We agree on that point, but let's move on to the next people in the show because it's not just about them. I'm just saying, I think them discussing that, meeting in the middle on parenting, um, Todd being relaxed with Kayla, because Kayla also said, she gets a whole lot more now that she's gone to work and she's put in the work, and he see that they give her a little bit more now. She has a little bit more leeway now. And
I'm
just
glad to hear that.
I follow Kayla on social media, and I was seeing them trips where she was taking, and homegirl wasn't staying at the Holiday Inn, okay?
Okay.
Homegirl was staying in hotels with penthouses, and she was in the penthouse, and she was having bottle service. So, I mean, she was
Well,
getting
I'm glad to
more
hear that.
than what we saw on the TV. She was, she was getting. Um, and I know that, like I say, from following her on IG, right? The
Mhm.
trips that she was taking and everything while she was still in school with her friends, they was living it up. And you can't tell me Candy wasn't doing that. On top of the fact, she actually said that Candy was going behind Todd's back and giving her stuff. But my thing is, if you can go behind his back for the financial, you can go behind his back to address your mom about what she's saying about this little girl daddy and the trauma that it inflicts on her. Who we got left to discuss? Because we discussed Sanya. Child,
True.
I have no hope for Marlo. Drew
I have none either. You can go ahead
Drew
and sign off.
to me is living in La La Land when it comes to Ralph. I also found out, I don't know if you heard this, but Ralph came out with a statement that he said people were getting on his back about the adoption, but he called the little boy's father to see how he felt about him adopting his son. And his dad said no. If this is true,
This is the last season.
if this is true, I think Rose did the right thing by talking to that man about
Drew
how
admitted the last season.
he felt about him adopting his son. Well, why Drew kept pressing that man? I feel Drew wrong for that. Like, respect the wishes of his
That's why he wrote
father.
that. That's why he wrote the book.
I think that I think that first of all, I'm gonna just say this. I felt like Drew should have never been pressuring him when you made the statement that he does not treat your son the way he treat y'all kids. Why would you want him to adopt your child when he treat him differently?
Facts.
But I think she's hiding a lot of things that come to that marriage. I don't think Drew is as stupid as she plays on the show. She know that man was gaslighting her. She know that man was treating her wrong. And she's another person that I feel like wanted to come on the show and present a certain way instead of presenting her actual reality.
Well, now she's dating girls now too. So
Well, I mean, listen, I feel like she wasn't dating girls because her mom is so religious. And when you caught up in that, how your parent feel.
I made a whole lot about that.
I do,
Those are big
yeah, but I have a friend who, she's been married twice, she's been divorced twice, and now she's dating women. And when she went to her mama said, "I know, and I love you regardless." And to me, that's what a parent is supposed to say.
Yeah.
So if Drew dating girls, not child, living your truth, living your reality. I'm all for people being happy in who they truly are and what they truly want. And I
But
think as
she dated Mimi from Love and Hip Hop's ex girlfriend.
I mean, child, listen, Ty is sexy. Like if I was into girls and Ty walked my way, I definitely put a little switch in my hips in front of her to get her attention. And Ty looks good. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Ty looks good.
Ignorant.
Taurus,
But yeah, I mean, I think that I want to get more into. Hopefully, I can stay focused on watching the show with them.
I know because we haven't done a review since the first one.
A lot of it was because of my work, though. But
My work
I
schedule is
think I text you the next week. Like
my work schedule is
I don't even
too.
know what happened.
Yeah, because
So
I'm
yeah.
gonna ask you instead of doing it on Monday,
Mhm.
because Mondays my schedule literally is about to start overlapping. So I would be at work while we're doing the live, and I don't want to do that.
Mhm.
If we can move to Wednesday, because Wednesday we get off, I'm off.
Wednesday's fine for me.
Unless you have something
I'm on
special.
summer vacation. Whatever you want to do it, I'm fine.
Yeah, because I want to be able to enjoy it. I don't want to have to be watching
And rushing.
us and then watching the work computer. And then if we want to drop the link,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hop off because I gotta go handle something for work. I think that would be better. Um, and child, I just say pick up from where the episode is because we got too many episodes to go back
Oh
to.
yeah. And then I'll go back and watch the old ones. Just so hopefully I can remember what happened. But yeah, and I'm fine with that. Wednesday's fine. But I think I just wanted to come on and say why people are not watching it because it is boring as hell right now. And I think I had called you like last week. I'm like, I want to review it, but I'm like, I can't even get to the episode. I'm bored. And so, y'all told me new stuff today that I didn't even know, but I would rather hear that on YouTube versus watching the whole damn show. You know what I'm saying? Because this whole thing with Riley and I mean not Riley, but Kayla, I didn't know any of this shit. So you just told it to me today. And I think that's probably why I have a different perspective with Candy and all the other stuff. But that's the only reason why I haven't watched it. So
But I think honestly, I think the cast has potential. I want Marlo gone.
yeah.
I'm gonna just be honest. I want Marlo gone. She by she not serves no purpose at all.
Insane.
But is
Get
what
rid of all three of them.
she is the side chick of Roha. When they don't have nobody else to do it, they call her and give her a check.
Yeah.
But the minute they have somebody viable that can really bring some heat, she's gone again.
Yeah.
Um, but she really
And
serves
it's
no
gonna be
purpose.
Kim
She
next
doesn't
season.
bring anything.
It's gonna be Kim next season.
Her reality is her son just
Although
had
we
a
don't want
baby.
to see Kim, it's gonna be Kim. Kim's what
No,
she's
I
doing
don't
right
want to
now
see
is
Kim.
hot as fuck right now. It's gonna be Kim next season, and Sheree may get on because she's friends with her, but I doubt we're gonna see Sheree next season.
I don't want to. Let me just say this.
I can get rid of Marlo to
I
keep
don't know if
Sheree.
I'm gonna watch. I don't know if I'm gonna watch if they bring in Kim back. The way, first of all, we've already heard how Croy showed up with guns and stuff on scene.
You gotta say
That
something
should not
about
be okay.
the G word.
The G word, where he showed up with the pow pows,
Mhm.
okay, on scene. For her to say, I'm the only stupid white woman, YT woman, to sit on the stage with all of these black women, and for her to have to come back when the whole world would not know who she was had it not for been for these women carrying the show, because nobody was talking about Kim Zolciak,
Ever.
especially not in a positive light. It was Nene, it was Kim, it was Phaedra. Your claim to fame was on the backs of these women and drinking out of a dang on solo cup. I don't want to see her back. I don't care to see her back. She does not need to come back and be able to profit because now she bankrupt and about to be divorced. She don't need to come back and be able to get a check off a halfway showing up, leaving through scenes, can't be called to the carpet. She does not need to be
Well, she can't leave because
doesn't
Croydon
need to
got
come
her
back
Uber
and get a
driver.
check off of the back of these black women. Nope, don't want her back.
But she can't leave in the middle of the season because Croydon got her Uber driver anymore.
I'm sorry.
She can't leave in the middle of scenes anymore because Croydon got her Uber driver anymore. And
Well,
that's why she was
I
leaving because
don't
Croydon
want
would be outside sitting there the
her.
entire scene
I
waiting
don't want
for
her
her call.
back. Are we gonna act like she's not a closeted R word? We're really gonna act like that's not what Kim is. You pull
Oh
up
no,
to
I
the
I
hood.
110% agree with you on that part. What I'm
Mm-mm.
saying is this: they're going to bring her back because her story right now is going to boost these ratings for the show because right now they are the lowest they've ever seen in life. Her shit, what she got going right now is going to boost those so fucking far up. and we probably want to see Sheree. Marlo's going to get dropped down, or maybe they would get rid of Drew, or saying somebody's leaving. But they have to keep Kenya because Kenya's gonna read the hell out of her ass, and I want to watch it. I don't want Kim back, but if I have to, Kenya, I need to see Kenya read that entire situation. That's all I'm saying. And then who's gonna do her makeup? Who's gonna do her hair? Who's gonna get her out of the scenes? Because Corey was all those things.
Her story is hot, but child, give her a new show called The Ring Didn't Mean a Thing.
Anybody watching that?
I'm just saying, give her a new show called The Ring Didn't Mean a Thing. But personally, I feel like, and I hate to advocate for anybody losing a job and losing a check. But I think bring in a fresh face cast, all new. That way, nobody can look for old dynamics when you have a whole group of new people. At this point, I feel like for me, when Candy got married, outside of the Mama Joyce storyline, I felt like it was like Kenya. I'm not Kenya, Cynthia. She got divorced from Peter. She married Mike. We thought that was her happily ever after. She tied it up in a bow. She was gone. For me, Candy's situation, she's on and they've been married 10 years. We're not really learning anything new about what Candy has going on, right? Tie it up in a bow, close it off. From
Are
whatever
y'all really going to watch a full new cast though?
I would. I would be this dynamic is tired. Sheree is tired. I love Candy, but like I said, we're not really getting anything new. We know Candy have businesses on top of businesses. We know she's booked and busy. Um, Tied up in a bow. For me, once this divorce is final with Kenya, tied up in a bow. Is gone. Like you need something fresh. I am tired of seeing recycle arguments, recycle friendships, recycle pacts between these ladies in this different dynamics. It it's it's stale. It
To be
gets
for
stale when you
me, I
continue
feel
to have
like
the same people and
I'm
nothing new.
probably not gonna watch. Like Kenya is a person that's on the show that for me, that's almost like I wouldn't want to watch the show
I mean,
unless they bring somebody equally and
we
let
already
Kenya
know.
like, get them into the show, and I know that they can read like Kenya reads, and she gonna troll the girls like Kenya do. Outside of that, I wouldn't watch it. Like create another show for
That's the
me.
thing. You would have to watch
I
and
think
see.
that's for me. Like if y'all want new people for a new show, like get another show. But we watched Atlanta for at least some of the girls that are over there. And I don't mind watching Candy. I don't mind watching Kenya. I don't mind even with Sheree when she does come in and out or whatever, because she feel like she can like check Kenya. I don't really mind her that much. But like Marlo, Drew, Mayetta, uh, Sanya, like I don't need them for the show. I want them to bring back Lisa Wu. I want Deshaun Snow back. I feel like those girls really understood the assignment, and that's why the show worked. That's like watching like your favorite sitcom and like change the cast. No, when we were watching the game, when Derwin and Melanie left, we didn't want to watch the show anymore. Like, so then why are reality shows like this for me? I don't understand that.
I get what you're saying, but we can't. Like we've been watching Kenya and Marlo beef for seasons. It's tired. When the season come on, you know that's what it's gonna be. I want something fresh.
I
I want
watched
something
Kenya be a
fresh. I
mother
don't want the
because she
same
fought so hard to be a
foolery.
mother for so long. I want to see Kenya's dating life. I want to see Kenya do what Kenya's doing. Like if Kenya had her own show, I would watch that shit by itself because I love Kenya that much to do that. But I'm just like when it comes to our black shows, we were just on this on the Best Buy conversation earlier than this. When it comes to our black shows, it's almost like get rid of the cast and bring somebody else on. No, because we didn't grow watching the show because of the new girls. We like the cast that we see. So like, why are we canceling out these women having jobs and then like all this stuff for a new cast? Like, just start another show.
I get what you're saying, but when our phase that we've been watching for years are not really bringing anything, then why are we still watching? I agree, Jonathan.
What has Candy and Kenya produced this season?
I agree. I don't enjoy people come for Candy because I feel like coming for Candy is going to solidify your spot on Housewives. Because that's
To
what
be,
Cousin is doing. You
but
gave
can I
somebody
just
to
answer this
come
real
for
quick? Can I
Candy.
answer this real quick? To be honest, Jonathan, the reason why I can't watch it is because of all the other new girls. Like, I'm just like, there's no relationship there. I want Cynthia back. I want the old, like, I want to see the cast that I used to like. Again, when we're watching our favorite show, like, let's just like, my favorite show is Girlfriends. If they had changed out Joan, Tony, Lynn, and Maya, I would never watch that shit again. I don't want to see a bunch of new girls. Like, just start another damn show. But give us the same girls growing and doing the things that they're doing. I know Nene can never come back because of what she did to the network, but there's still other girls like Portia. I don't want to see Phaedra back, but if we still had Candy, Kenya, Portia, even bringing back like Lisa Wu, as much as I hate Kim, like even with Sheree, because I know these girls, like I want to watch the show for that. I don't if they change it, I'm out. I don't want to
What in
watch it.
my opinion, I'm tired of seeing recycle beefs between the same people. We already know what it's gonna give, and I want to be surprised. Like the thing, like I think you can't compare a girlfriend. Just my opinion. You can't compare a girlfriend to a Roja
Mhm.
because it was scripted. You know what I'm saying? It was scripted, so fall in love with the character that they play. Versus reality TV show, we're supposed to be seeing your life. And when we're not seeing anything new from your life, recycled beefs, people coming on want to create a beef because they feel like that is going to solidify them to come back to another season. It gets old. We've learned the formula, and I think it's time to change up the formula, which is why ratings are down. It's not just on Roja, it's on reality TV across the board because we've learned the formula, and the formula produces the same thing over and over. When we watch sitcoms, we watch those episodes because we got different things in different episodes that gave different elements that kept you watching.
Mhm.
It's like when you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, get bored and you want something. And I think the people just want something new, which is why they aren't watching. Along with the fact that a lot of the people
Let me just drop in
don't
one.
have a lot of the
Let me
new
drop in one thing
generation.
though. From what you're saying though, you can't do that because they keep changing the cast so much. We don't know. Like they're not even friends with these girls. So like when you have like let's say you have Candy Sheree. Let's even get more like a friend of the show, and then you have Kenya. We know that they have a relationship, right? But then you have these other new girls coming in. Like we have to learn all this new shit. So for me, it that does make a big difference when it comes down to it because at this point, it's not the same show. So now we got to learn these new people. We don't like it because their dynamics don't make no damn sense. And then Marlo's acting different because now she's not a friend and she has a peach. It just changed the dynamics. But if they would have kept the damn girls that were on the show, we would have still been watching the show because I would have loved to watch the part where Nene went through the thing with Greg. Even with Kim going through what she's going through right now, I would love to see that. We watched Portia go through her divorce. I would love to see her go through the thing with Simon. But there's so much changing, like you can't get familiar with the show because it keeps changing.
Hey, cousin Ranting. Now I will say this. Granted, the show keep changing, but
Is
the
she
storyboard is still the same. Is what I'm saying. You bring on new girls across and I'm not just speaking about Roja. I'm speaking about reality TV
period?
in
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
right. You bring on new girls. You know, one of the new girls gonna beef with
And
the
real
old.
quick, y'all been dropping them. If y'all want to come up, y'all are more than welcome to. I know you don't have a lot of time left, but I'm dropping a link. If you guys want to come up, you are more than welcome.
you know the new girls are gonna beef with the OGs, right?
Hmm.
Because they feel like that is going to solidify them bringing a new getting
Show.
a season, right? They feel like if I beef with the new girls, then I'm gonna be able to I'm gonna solidify my spot for next season. Versus when Kenya and Portia was on, right?
Hmm.
And their beef started. They were both new. They didn't come for the OGs. They were both new. And so that was something new that you got to see. And now the formula across the board on reality TV, the new girls gonna come in. They gonna beef with the OG. They might have a slight beef with each other, but they really gonna beef with the OG for some BS that don't even make sense. But you feel like it's the same.
But Kenya
It's
didn't
the
come in beef with
same
the OG.
formula, and it's tired. And we have to look at this. The younger generation is not watching your Rojas, your Aura HOP. A lot of them are not watching it. They're watching the baddies and this, that, and the third. So as we get older and evolve, we don't want to see the same bull crap. We want to see these ladies evolve. And we're not seeing evolvement because
But
we're still going through the
Kenya
same
did not come in beefing
BS.
with the old girls. She came in beefing with Portia and Phaedra. The old girls were beefing with Kenya because of Phaedra and her marriage. So we can't even get the formula they should have followed was the Kenya formula because she came in knowing the assignment.
Right,
Hey,
but
Rick,
even
give me
when
one
she
second to
beat,
read this comment down, and then
but
we'll
wait,
get this.
even
Jonathan
though
says, but
Phaedra,
even with the new girls, they are not showing much about them, which is very true. All I'm seeing is Marlo acting a fool. I would love to see Candy and Ace and how she has him working now. And then Debbie says, yes, that's true. I think she's talking about what you were saying, Nola.
but even when Kenya came on and she beefed with Phaedra, right?
Yes.
Or newbie versus the OG.
But did
That
Faith
was
come in before or after she came in,
but this is what I'm saying. Even when she came on, you had the two newbies beefing with each other. Then you had the newbie Kenya beefing with OG Phaedra, right?
but her main beef was with Portia first, though.
Yeah.
Right. It was with Portia first. I'm not saying that it wasn't.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is when we got that beef, it was a legitimate beef. You were being disrespectful to this lady in her marriage. Her husband was being disrespectful. What I'm saying is the beef that we get now with the
No,
newbie
wait, put them in
OG,
order. Put them in order. So when Kenya came on, her beef was with Portia because she missed said her title,
Mhm.
and so they had that beef going on for a minute. Now I don't know, did Portia and Phaedra come in the same season?
No.
yeah. But no,
I don't
no,
think that they did.
no, 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 no.
I think
No, they did.
Kenya and Portia came in the same season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
But
Phaedra
what
came
I'm saying
after
is,
that, right?
No, Phaedra was okay. So Phaedra was there before. So
Okay.
Phaedra was there during the Africa trip, Talls versus Smalls. This was season 5 when we got Kenya and Portia because
Okay.
Portia was brought in just a little bit later, and Kenya was there at that table when the wig threw a hissy fit, pregnant and all, had her husband waiting outside. Well, her soon to be ex husband, like he always has been, waiting outside for her, talking about they was bullying her
Okay.
because they had that
but
sit down and
that came after the Kenya Phaedra Apollo thing.
no, that came before.
Right. That's what I meant to say. It came before. But my point of saying that is you had the two newbies that beat Kenya, Portia and Kenya, right?
Hmm.
Beef was over a mispronouncement of a title, but it brought something new because you had new girls beefing. I'm speaking to the Phaedra and Kenya argument because the new girls come on now and they beef with an OG to solidify a spot for the next season. So it's BS beef versus when you had newbie Kenya and OG Phaedra, it was a legitimate beef. That's what I'm saying. The beef with the new girls now are contrived. They make a beef when it don't need to be one, which makes it BS. That's what I'm saying. Like don't contrive a beef because you feel like it's gonna solidify your spot if I come for one of the OGs. That's not what Kenya did. Paulo picked her up, threw her in the pool. Phaedra said it was in poor taste. She had the donkey booty video. Then Kenya came out and made her video. Phaedra felt like you stole my idea. It was legitimate beef. It was legitimate on, you can see how Phaedra would take this way. You can see why Kenya would say such and such and such. It was legitimate. It's not contrived on, I'm a beef with you to solidify a spot. That's what I'm saying.
So who came on season 4 then?
Season 4 was season 4
Because
was
it
that
says that Phaedra and Cynthia came season 3, and then Kenya came season 5. So who came season 4?
nobody.
Okay.
Yeah, season
Because,
4. Season 4 was the
so Candy came on season 2. What
yeah
season did Candy come?
2. Candy
Okay.
was okay. So season 1 was the OG girls. Season
Right.
2, Candy came in. Season 3,
Candy came by
Phaedra.
herself.
Candy came by herself. She
Okay.
because I just started rewatching that season. She sat down with Lisa Wu first because they had known
Oh,
each
wow,
other.
I didn't even realize they were on the same season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then Phaedra, pregnant and all, don't know when her due date was.
Phaedra
And
and Cynthia came season 3.
3. There was nobody season 4 because it was like the cast they have now: Nene, Sheree,
Okay.
Candy, Kim, Cynthia, Phaedra. Season 5, Kim had already got married and pregnant, and she wasn't trying to film, so they brought in Kenya and then
And
Portia.
Portia, yeah. Okay. Got
And then the season after it was that cast, but without Kim, and then Marlo was a friend of the show.
Got you. Okay. That
That's
makes
the
sense.
thing. Even though we saw them in group dynamics, every one of those ladies, we saw Nene and Greg have their
Yeah, very true, very true,
downfall
very
where
true.
they divorced and they got remarried. Real life situation for them. We saw
Mm-hmm.
Candy go through with Ace when he was unalived on, not Ace, whatever that man
AJ.
name was.
AJ, yeah.
Agent, where he was unalived, and she had to deal with getting over that. We saw Kim go through with Big Papa. She had the situation with Sweetie.
Did
She
we
had her.
really see that?
Well,
We
we didn't see
saw it
Big
slash didn't
Papa,
see it.
but we knew about it. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, it was something outside of. They each had something
Mm-hmm.
outside the group that attracted us to their storyline, and that's what we're not getting right now. Which is
Mm-mm.
why, what do we know about this lady outside of she's now Ralph's cousin that they figured out at a party, and she got a problem with Candy? They're not bringing
Nothing.
anything new that we don't get
Not
to
our
do.
hearts was here, Debbie.
But my thing is, we don't get to. They're not producing the show the way they used to produce the show, where we were able to get endeared to these ladies
Mm-hmm.
because you knew their outside story outside of the group dynamic.
Well, was that a
They're
production
not doing
thing?
that, and
But
we
was
need
that
to
a
get back.
production thing though? Because to be honest, they brought Latoya on last season, and Latoya didn't go for the bigger name. She was friends with Kenya, and she went for Drew, but then they didn't bring her back. But they brought Drew back because she went against Candy
Well,
and the like the bigger women. So
what?
and then also you had Sanya. Sanya was trying to make friends with Candy and Kenya because she wanted the clout from them, but she never really even entertained anybody else. So is that the
But
production?
we saw nothing about Sanya's life. Saw nothing about Sanya's life that would
Mm-mm.
endear us to her. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm just
We
saying,
saw
like what
outside
we're saying
stuff.
from originally from when shows, like when these shows
We-
started,
Right. We
they
saw
weren't going
outside
for the
stuff
bigger
to
name
endear
show.
us to them ladies. We not getting endeared
Yeah.
to them. Like, they
So
were your favorites for a reason. It wasn't just their reads. It wasn't just how they acted in the group dynamic. Like, when the whole thing happened with Nene and the closet incident, right?
Mhm.
Everybody was saying Nene shouldn't have did this, Nene shouldn't have did that. And you know what? It's not just about being a Nene fan. I said, when Marlo said Greg's going through cancer, you're not going through cancer. I said, "Oh, that shows her ignorance
mm-hmm.
because the caregiver goes through." the caregiver goes through just as much. We were seeing her reaction to what she was going through, which either endeared you to her or made you feel some type of way for her. But they had actual stuff going on that we got to see that either made you love them or live to drag them the next week. Now we just see contrived BS. And as I get older, where I'm at in my life, in my stage of life, I want peace. I don't want nobody picking with me just to pick with me to have an argument. If it's legitimate, it's legitimate.
So,
And that's what I'm saying. We're not getting anything to endear you to somebody. When Kenya came on, everybody hated her. And she
Absolutely.
owned it.
Right.
And she
Right.
But we got to see Kenya look for her mama and knock on the door, and her mama
She created her
didn't
own
answer the door for her.
storyline
Like, we got
that
to
people hated her because
see her
she was
daddy
Kenya
telling her
more,
sweet ass.
and that was the thing. But that's where I'm at in this conversation though as well. It's that when Kenya came on, they hated Kenya. Like it wasn't like Nene came in hating her because she was like trying to go against Nene. It was they just didn't like her because of who she was. Period. I think that Kenya just had this false personality. I think with Latoya who came in with Drew, like she kind of had that as well, but they got rid of her and they kept Drew because she was like a bottom to me, to be honest. But we don't get to see, how these people come in on this show that make us want to watch the show because it's so like it doesn't make us want to watch. I would definitely rather have seen Latoya than Drew.
So to jump in here, I don't want to cut nobody off, but the reason we are not going to see Latoya is because there was a gag. Like hello. Oh, hey Debbie Lowe, it's good to see you in the chat too. If I go on mute, because the dog is barking. She's very rude. With Latoya, we were never going to be able to see her story for the simple fact that I don't know if she's still married to that man, but he put the kibosh on all that. Kids being on the show, that's a no. Me being shown on the show, that's a no. What they were going through at the time was going to be the storyline, especially because she eventually had another boyfriend while she was married to that man. All that was going to be an absolute no for him. And it took the legal route. So what she was supposed to come in on was, I'm having issues in my marriage. I am a YouTuber. I built my career off of this. I have my children. This is how I do my day-to-day, all this. He stopped all that. So she went from being a main cast member to a friend of the show. And yes, she was, in quotations, even though y'all can't see me, Deb, throw up the quotations for me. Look, quotation marks. Yes, even in quotations, her and Kenya were friends. They weren't really like friends. Like, I don't go to lunch with you. My kids don't play with your kids. We not going to mama's birthday party. I don't just call you on the phone and talk to you for hours and hours. We don't catch up like that. They weren't friends like that. When it came down to the beef with Drew, it was just like, it was boring. Like, y'all beefing over nothing. You got a problem with Drew playing an exaggerated version of herself on a scripted television show, and Drew thinks you're a fan, and then it turned into the Delilah spirit or whatever, and nobody cares. We don't care.
But
It
what
was
I'm
boring.
saying is that like when she came in, it wasn't about the older cast members. It was
No.
Drew. For like when we watched the show,
Yeah.
it was about Drew. Drew went for Sheree. She went for
No, she went for Kenya. Sheree wasn't.
yes. And that's
She,
like that's what we're talking about. I'm saying like when
yeah.
we're talking about the girls coming into the shows, the girls will come in and they're like, let me make my staple down here so I can make my staple up here later on. That makes sense to me to watch the show because it's like this girl's already done this thing right here. I can't really deal with this unless you coming in where you can really do some damage up here. Latoya came in and understood the assignment. I was really like waiting to see all that stuff with her family, but she came in on Drew's ass. She was hot on her ass, so I was okay to see that because they're below them at this point. And then it just felt like she was more authentic. Drew was making up stories about the prophet and this boombox, and it was like, why is she still even here? But it's more for me. I think they left her there for Ralph, and now they're not even together anymore. So now next season, what does she have even left?
Her
But
divorce. Seeing her go
like,
through that.
That's what all I'm saying is it's like we were saying like these girls are coming for the bigger names when they get onto the show. Latoya came in the right way for me.
And here's the situation with that. So, you got a Sanya and you have a Drew.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me read
Okay.
what Amber said. She says Marlo needs to go. She's a chop. Everybody says, "Oh, she brings the drama." No, she doesn't bring the entertaining drama like Kenya did. Marlo is draining, and she didn't wake Candy up. It was Courtney. Then Rich also says Sheree has been floppy. I was looking forward to this Martell storyline, but it's tired and through. She's a chop as well. She's not the same, and she fell flat. And then Rich also says Drew also a chop. If Yanugeta is feeling more like a peach holder than she is, she needs to go. I'm going to be over this divorce by the time we get to it. And I agree.
With the divorces, like I'm be honest, I don't pay attention a lot to what they got going on the outside. So that's just me. When it comes down to the whole Drew and Sanya situation and the Drew and Sheree and the Drew and Kenya is just like, you felt the way about her friend coming at you, so you decided to go at her. Okay, y'all cool the next season. It really, hey Mims, it really didn't matter. The whole Drew and Sheree situation, Drew didn't actually start that, but Sheree felt like, just like most of the girls felt, Drew is low hanging fruit to them. They feel like she's an easy, I'm going to pick at you and I'm going to poke at you, and now I have a storyline. It's why Marlo is going at her instead of Marlo really bossing up like she claims she is and going at Candy head on by herself, standing 10 toes down. Drew is low hanging fruit. That is why Sanya, even like, it's a fake beef
Yeah.
because every time you try to go at Drew, no matter how y'all feel about Drew, Drew is like, okay, well, this happened and let's just move on. Drew does not want to beef with Sanya because we still don't know. Drew don't know. I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows why Sanya has an
The
issue
Lord
with her.
don't even know.
The Lord don't know. Them rusty gold she got don't know.
Drew is like,
Buenas noches.
Nobody knows what the beef is. And Drew is just like, okay, girl, I'ma just leave it here.
I love that baby.
Her Drew's storyline next season, if she does get another season, unless they put the show on pause, like they are doing a lot of their shows, this divorce, her getting back into acting, her getting back into her singing career, her being a single
Back in
mother,
her singing career, her acting, I can see back to that. Drew doesn't have a singing career.
like back into all of this. Like she had been a stay-at-home mom, and now watching her get into this would be good. Sanya, I'm sick of her because you could show your real life. Like no one cares about your family living with you. Explain why, and I need the real reason why you want all those
Singing
people
lives
in
in
your
a
home.
town car, and we watch all people come out of that damn house, and we're trying to figure out how people actually live there. And I will agree with Young Rich. Young Rich went up for Sanya. Young Rich says, Sanya, I went to bat for her because she was new, but she's giving nothing. Yes, we only on episode 5, but she don't need to come back. She will be better on HB.
Put her on ESPN.
I would say this last season, Young Rich went up for Sanya. So to even see Young Rich say that to me lets me know.
Sanya came in trying to start a fake beef with Drew. And when she realized it was low hanging fruit and it wasn't going to work, she decided to go at Kenya with trying to check her down to that trip to Jamaica. And that didn't work because you got checked on your own trip. Now we get back to this season. And once again, this is your second season, your sophomore season. You need to make a splash. She doesn't. She would rather play backup and minion like she was doing last season to Sheree and Marlo, not realizing that they're using you to do their dirty work. And when they can't use you anymore, you're going to get dropped like a hot pocket fresh out the microwave that you tried to bite into, and it's just like hot, 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 hot. Okay?
They drained me.
It's just like this whole format of like why the ratings are low and what the girls are doing. Like, yeah, the girls used to beef with each other coming into the show, and they would leave the OGs alone unless the OGs said or did something to them that rubbed them the wrong way. But now it's just like I'm Team Marlo and I'm Team Sheree and I'm over here. But sometimes I want to be over here with y'all and I want to be a bone carrier. That does not work. You going back and carrying a bone and not carrying it correctly, and production just calling y'all out on all y'all stuff actually does not help you. we this format, the way casting, like I'm gonna be honest, most of these women, if not all, on this show are in entertainment in some way, whether it be reality entertainment, singing, dancing, acting, so on and so forth. It's just like, so there's no other women in Atlanta. There's no other women, doing different things in Atlanta. Y'all ain't got nobody working in tech. Y'all don't have any. Obviously, some of like the nurses and the doctors can go to Married to Medicine. Maybe they don't want to do that. Y'all ain't got no lawyers. Y'all don't have anyone, like the ladies from Love Match. Y'all ain't got none of them. Y'all don't have nobody else doing any other stuff. Y'all just gonna keep giving us the same people over and over again who are going to fall in line with whatever OG is there currently, and are going to try to go at the person they think is low hanging fruit until that person either gives it to them or doesn't give it to them. So then they start to go after the OG that the person they're following behind does not like. That doesn't work. It gives follower, and you can't be in your big 40-year-old age about to make 50 being a follower. It's sad and pathetic, and nobody wants to see that at all. And this whole charade thing isn't working. Like, they thought this was going to be big for the ratings, and I guess production for Real Housewives of Atlanta didn't realize how hated Martell is. Like, I don't think they understood that. Like, nobody likes him other than you. Nobody likes him, and some pick me's.
Not other than you.
Deb go up for that man.
Who? For Martell?
Yes.
Hey, Martell.
Yeah. So nobody besides Deb and a couple pick me's in that man's comments likes him. People despise that man.
I know y'all do.
He's horrible. He threatened his ex-wife with a Smex tape, threatened her to leak it if she didn't stop talking on social media. Nobody likes him. So what ratings y'all thought he was going to do for y'all, he's not a big rating. Like, he's not an eye grabber. He's not someone who catches the eye for ratings.
That's fine. I just want to pull this up, y'all. I'm sorry.
I'm sick of you.
What the world?
Y'all want to hear Drew Sidora sing?
No, because first of all, for a fact this is from Girlfriends, and she was acting. You better stop, Deb. You were so mean.
Hey, DeQuasia, my love.
Let's hear Drew Sidora sing.
Whipped cream toppings on your banana split, split, split. I got cherry toppings for your banana split, split, split. Got me fixing my hair, checking my glare, making you stare like we're in high school. Let me show ya what I can do. Watch me move. So patty cake, bet you can't roll it up like I can, but you got it. Let's get started, 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 started.
That's the music career we're waiting on. Is that what we're waiting on?
First of all, for a fact in your heart, and for a fact, since we've done Girlfriends on my channel and this channel for trivia night, that is an episode of Girlfriends. You need to stop being petty. I get this is your platform, but you need to stop being petty.
I was just asking. Hey, y'all in the chat.
Hey, DeQuasia.
Hey, DeQuasia, my love. You got to give my baby a special hello, brother, because I sent her the link to come over here with us.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I was trying to look up that link. I missed whatever was going on in the chat.
Because you was trying to be petty.
Yeah, you're not trying to. He was too busy being petty to realize there was people commenting and doing stuff.
Is that Giovanna?
That is not Giovanna.
Well, Giovanna was a bitch.
Not Giovanna from Clark, Atlanta, baby. I was popular.
Fiesta. How you doing? How you living?
Hey, too feisty. Yeah.
It's a fake relationship. It is a fake relationship. Carlos Kang set that up, and I don't trust it. I don't trust him.
Who's your friend, brother Jonathan?
He's
Marcel?
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jonathan. That is a disgrace.
Y'all need to excommunicate him because he is awful.
He is
Jonathan,
Don't you
if
tell him.
you talking about don't tell him you say hey, he say hey, because I'm telling you right now, this sister right here not having it.
Listen, I love
I'm
me good
gonna hate every
friends.
time. I'm
As soon
gonna
as
hate every time.
as soon as you bring him around us, oh,
I
okay. You leave him with us. So when you leaving? Our brother don't even know you. Okay?
fully embracing my inner auntie at 33.
I swear to God. I swear to God, brother. I'm telling you, when I'm a pull a Jocelyn Hernandez, you get with Martell. When the minute you be like, "Come over, sis," and bring my when I walk up in there, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, why is you here?
You the maid.
You don't like whipped cream toppings on your banana splits?
Stop.
You so petty."
Uh
Now that woo 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 we heard when she did with Candace for them 43 seconds or whatever long they said it was.
First of all, I like the song she has with Candace. I've replayed it many times and
I have to listen to that. I do.
it's it's on my self-care playlist. I
But,
actually liked it.
when she was saying that she was talking when she was talking to LeBron behind the scenes, that was one song that she had out. So I was just wondering, was that Lee was dancing
That
to?
is a lie, and you know it. She had two songs out. Okay, get it right. She had two songs out, and both of them came from the Step Up soundtrack, and she wrote on one of them. You need to stop with your foolishness.
LeBron was like, I like to see crap on my begins.
How many times have you watched it since you know the choreography?
This is my favorite show, so I've watched it way before I even knew the Drew said that. So I've been in the choreography.
Listen. I'm gonna just say this, to defend Drew just a little bit. Y'all can hate all y'all want, but she's still getting a check from the because she's a SAG actress. Okay, she pays her dues. She's still
Well,
getting a check.
she was hitting the moves though in that.
Yeah, she's still getting her check from Girlfriends, the game, and her little 3 episode stint she did on
Oh,
That's So
Marcel is your
Raven.
frat brother. Listen,
Ugh,
we need to
I
talk.
feel bad for
Can you
you.
inbox me on Instagram? We need to talk. I like
Nola, so I guess we just gonna have to be embarrassingly dead in front of his new little man at all times.
I'm not having it.
I'm not either. Does anybody object to this wedding? I do.
let's
I
have
do.
it.
Uh-oh, I'm getting a little
I mean,
feedback.
So is that ranting?
hold on.
It is ranting. Let's just do it one more time.
You like whipped cream toppings on your banana split, split, split. I got cherry toppings for your banana split, split, split. Got me fixing my hair, checking my glam, making you stare like we're in high school. Let me show ya what I can do. Watch me move. So patty cake, bet you can't roll it up like I can, but you got it. Let's get started, 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 started. That's it.
You so disrespectful.
I just couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. You ever said, how could y'all cast season 16 of Real House and pick anybody? How would y'all cast 16 of Real House of London and pick anybody? Who would y'all pick?
I'm gonna stay away from this because there's possibility that the DGA, which is the Director Guild, and the
I'm
production
about to play it again.
in the production they got too many letters for their union. It's gonna go on strike, which means everything gonna get shut down. Reality TV too. So I don't know if I won't cast for season 16. I say they need a pause.
Who would you pick, Nola?
Oh, child. I will bring back Kenya.
Absolutely.
I will bring back Kenya. I will bring back Drew because I want to see her life after divorce. And then if she's really dating Ty, that will get me to see Ty up on the screen. Um,
That's beautiful.
I said the same thing, girl.
One time, come through, girl.
I will bring back Candy, and that's it.
All new people.
That's it. Everybody else would. be I would be calling out a casting call. Like with Atlanta being the Black Hollywood of the South,
Mhm.
I can't believe that we can't find more interesting people than what we have on this show.
Well, you know what's very interesting is that so there's been some girls from my show who've been trying to come over there. Which
You talking about basketball wives? No, we don't want them.
We
We
don't
don't
want it.
want them.
We
but,
No.
don't want them. We don't want it. We don't want it.
hear me out, because
Mm.
it would actually bring up the ratings, and
Mm-mm.
also it would be really good for a few girls to come over. But who I would cast from originally from this show, I would definitely bring back Kenya and Candy. I want Portia to come back. I want to
Mm-mm.
see what's going on with her assignment. I need to see this.
She not gonna share it.
But they asking like if I could, so I'm just telling you. But with Portia, Candy, and Kenya, I know for sure I can never get Nene back onto the show. I would put Marlo as a friend again, not on the show, so she could be dumbed down and realize where she came from. I would like to see Lisa Wu and Deshaun Snow back.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this. But hold on. I just want to make it known the DGA and the production union. Y'all should be called PCU, Production Crew Union. Y'all have too many letters. Don't fight me. I would keep Kenya because I like the fact that she's done the work on herself with the therapy and everything, and can see the signs of an abusive man when they show up in her life. And I would like to see like her dating now that she's allegedly divorcing that man. I would keep Candy only because she good for a little laugh, a little kiki. Candy go to crew, okay. And to speak on it, so I like watching those with DJ A1. I would keep Drew. I too would like to see if she's dating Ty in real life. I would also like to see how life is as she's trying to divorce that man and he trying to put her and all three of them children out of that house. Um, um, hmm. Can't bring back Nene. That's never gonna happen. Can we do an open casting call? And nobody from other reality shows. We want new girls.
Well, there is one other person, other thing that I like to bring is
You better not say Brandy.
with with cream toppings on the banana split.
Get your brother.
I would love to have with
Where you get that microphone?
banana split as well.
Did them children give you a microphone for teacher appreciation?
Sorry, guys, I use it for my children.
I
Knew it.
knew it.
I noted. I noted. That's I'm gonna be honest. And like, okay, so the people they claim to have were supposed to be bringing on a show we never saw. They
But if you could bring other people from other shows, who would you bring?
other shows. I don't want to see none of Candy's friends. Make that
No,
another
I'm
show.
not saying Candy's friends. I'm saying from other shows, like other reality shows. Who would you bring?
Well, I have to say no to anything that happened on VH1, especially in Atlanta, because Candy is friends with most of them people. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see anybody from Basketball Wives either, because some of them aren't even wives. It's like two wives, Jackie
These
and
girls
Brandy.
ain't wives either. Kenya not a wife. Who else is on the show?
Hold on. Technically speaking, Kenya is still a wife until she divorced that man with the nose
Drew's
ring.
getting a divorce. Kenya getting a divorce. Sheree has been a wife since she's been on the damn show.
But we never wanted her back. She just cheap.
Is Mayetta married?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I like her husband Heath. He good. He seemed like a good time. Courtney not married. She got a situationship with Bryce Wilson, and Bryce is looking like somebody Paul right now.
I think if I could bring a backup, I would bring over Jennifer. I feel like she fits better with these girls.
She gonna clash with them, and it's gonna be an issue.
We need to see a clash though, like in a classy one, not a beat your ass and fight you clash. So I wouldn't mind seeing her over there on this show.
Ooh, I
don't know if you guys even we did a thing today earlier, and Carlos King was saying that he would want.
Listen, don't talk to me about that man.
Don't talk to me about that man either.
No, but hear what I'm saying though. He was saying that he would want for Juan and Robin to go to Basketball Wives. What do you guys think about that?
We could just see them off of reality TV. I mean, I'm not talking about. I won't talk bad about your man. I don't know if y'all still together. It's been a few. It's been a few. It's been a long time since I've been over here, so I don't know if you and Juan still together. How's that situation going?
I mean, we still sneaky linking.
Okay. Well, I don't want to see. Like, listen, Rob Dixon is not going to be able to hang with them women over there. She would actually have to fight, and show off that.
Oh, I like this.
You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing
I
Tamika.
would like to see her.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind seeing Tamika. Courtney can go. You bring nothing to the table, and you. She's elitist. She's a fake elitist, and she wants people to know that Candy brings the ghetto out. Candy brings the hood out. And as soon as somebody called her out for how badly that sounds, because that's a bad stereotype you're putting on black people as a whole. Oh, I'm from the hood, and that's the equivalent of I have black friends. I'm not racist. Kick rocks.
Young Rich, we saw her on
We don't
RB.
want it.
She was very boring, so absolutely not.
We don't want it.
She couldn't even be a villain because she didn't have the
Now
personality.
her husband could be a villain if he could get a peach.
But you know who else? I would say is Taj from SWV.
Taj doesn't live in Atlanta.
I mean, she can though.
She could. Well, no, because her child. I wouldn't give up my home and my peace.
I would love to see Taj outside of SWV. I like Taj personality.
Okay. So that's the thing. You just want to see Taj outside of SWV.
But
I
I want to see her personality thrive without the group.
mhm.
I think even when I see Tamika, I thought about Taj automatically. Like I would love to see that. I think that she has a dope personality, and her and Tamika together to me would be dope to see. And it would add so much more to the group. To me, with Ken now if Kenya start with them, I'm gonna be upset with Kenya. But I just would like to see that.
Here's
Which
the
I
thing.
know she would.
Yeah. Young, rich, skinny. It's not that she lied on Candy, because Candy is okay from where she came from. It's giving fake elitist. It's giving I look down on you, and it's a bad stereotype to throw on black people, because not all black people are hood. Not all black people are ghetto. And the place she was talking about, I looked it up. It's got a 3-point-star rating on Google, and the people said the food is nasty. And
But
DJ,
over at the OLG,
no, at the place she was saying that Candy brought out the hood to this restaurant, and it's just this classy
or
place.
was it the OLG or was it the other restaurant?
No, it's neither one of Candy's restaurants.
Uh,
She was talking about a whole different restaurant that Candy went to in Atlanta, and Candy brought the hood out, and she brought the ghetto out, and her fans are ghetto, and her fans are this, and it's the culture she keeps, and it's just like you're fake bougie, you're fake elitist, and you have this elitist attitude like you're so much better than everybody, and keep that over there.
but
And
let's just also say that you guys have seen me and Busy go to one of Candy's establishments and the people that she brings out, and it wasn't any of that. So we can't listen to her in anything that she
yeah,
said because everybody that she brought up was mostly like celebrities. They were like a really good time. Now maybe people wherever that Courtney was hanging out at might have been some ghetto people, but I don't think the Candy attracts ghetto people at
so
all.
that place, the restaurant,
Mhm.
DJ one when they did the speak on it was like, oh yeah, that used to be a poppin' place due to all the rappers and the ATL celebrities coming to it. It used to be. It's no longer that place. And
Yeah.
like I said, they have a 3.0 star rating on Google reviews, and most of the reviews are saying how disgusting the food is.
So I don't think the Candy brought those people. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, she
And
didn't bring the
we're
people.
not bringing Pat Houston to the show or Kim Burrell.
Oh, NOLA.
What you got against Kim Burrell? Baby, Kim Burrell celebrate y'all, okay?
Yes,
Celebrate too.
Kim
she
Burrell said
celebrates the
she
leg.
don't know.
She
She
cel-
don't know what them letters mean. Let God
Let
be
God
true
be true
quickly
quickly
in
in
advance.
advance.
You better
Oh, my
be
shot.
true to Kim Burrell because absolutely not.
Kim Burrell said she housed the people of the Let God Be True
It's
quickly
in
community
advance.
in advance. Oh, Bashata.
Yes.
She said we were delusional and perverted.
Baby,
Listen,
and
she
she
said she
also,
housed us.
listen, if it wasn't for Kim Burrell, Okay, being an instrument for Beyonce, listening to
That's
her
not
for
true because she
12 hours.
actually sang
11.
Y'all wouldn't have the
Karen
11
Clark.
hours. I'm sorry. Y'all
11.
She
wouldn't have
actually
You Won't Break My
Beyonce out of her
Soul.
own mouth. It was Karen Clark Sheard, so we won't do that.
Well, she said that Jay-Z called her and told her that Beyonce had locked herself in a room and listened to her going on 11 hours. And he just wanted to thank her for helping his wife out. Yes, let God be true quickly in advance. Oh, Bashata. And if you click the plus sign on the end of that A, scroll down to the P's, you'll find my people.
Well,
Happy Pride.
you know, Niecy Nash said there was LGBTQ QIA plus Niecy Nash.
Listen, y'all click the plus before y'all get to Niecy Nash. Scroll to the bottom and then you scroll to the P section to find me.
I love when Niecy Nash said that, though. That cracked me the hell up. And happy Pride Month to anyone who's here.
Yay.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get me a flag.
I actually have a bunch of flags. I cannot find my hat, my pride, but I'll find them.
I want to put it up in my room. Cover one of my walls. But I need to get my flag. No.
This is it, y'all. This is all we were here to talk about. Me and Nola will try to review next week on Wednesday, right?
Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay.
On
What
Wednesday, we can't do Tuesdays because that's when our sisters go, Cutie and Barb.
uh-huh.
And look, here come Cutie.
Wait, what
Come,
time on
Cutie,
Wednesday?
rainbows.
It'll be before game night.
Okay. Ooh, Deb, you might like this new game night I got going on.
What's the game night this time?
No, we're doing a little something different because it is a Black Music History Month. So we're gonna be talking about a black
Can we do
theme
the
song.
name the tune thing again?
Name the tune? Oh, that's gonna be, well, it's gonna be finish that lyric.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing finish the lyric for Black Music History Month, which is what I'm doing for my channel for June. Besides reviews and everything, and then it is going to be a Kahoot over like black theme songs for TV shows.
I probably won't know a lot of it unless it's like newer stuff, but I'll be there.
Oh, we gonna get it done, and we gonna see if y'all gonna get these lyrics right. Y'all gonna have to buzz in too. I know y'all hate that.
Child, Ranting giving us lyrics, baby. I better go study the lyric of every song because she gonna
Can we get
definitely
like
pull
a
out the lyrics we
category
don't
list
even
of
remember.
people?
I'll put the categories will be put. Check the community tab. I'm getting it together this weekend.
Just make sure Beyonce's in there.
Oh, she will be.
I was about to say she ain't make no show theme song. Oh, the Proud Family. You and me will always be tight.
Family every single day and night.
Even when acting like a fool,
You know,
I'm loving
love in every
everything
single
you
thing you
do.
do. You know, I can always be myself.
I love you more than anybody.
And every day when we're heading out to school, there's no one I love as much as you.
Okay.
Family,
Okay.
family, proud family. They'll push your buttons.
Make you wanna. Is it love you?
Love them, hug them.
I'm telling you right now,
Family,
I'm a
family.
fail at game night this month because
You say you're gonna fail? Je
I
m'appelle, I'ma
am.
fail.
Je m'appelle, I'm a fail because I am horrible with lyrics.
You
Now,
wanna?
listen, I don't know if y'all know who Leela Brown is, but if y'all
Leola?
want ratings,
Leola,
listen,
that lady that hates on
I would put
the
her and
set.
Pat Houston and have them have a sit down scene and add they be friends. Are they gonna come together as a woman?
Oh, baby. Now that would be some good TV, young Rich. You need to be in production. Cause that would, baby, I would kill to see Leola and Pat have a conversation.
Ooh, listen.
I would pay money for that because that's
Why
gonna
did they
turn into
talk?
a
What
pay-per-view
happened for they
event.
to talk?
Leola? Leola is Bobby Brown's sister, and she been beefed out.
Oh, okay.
She been beefed out with Bobby because she blamed him for the death of her fiance. She been beefed out with Pat and the whole well, she been beefed out with Pat because I think she blamed Pat for Bobby Christina passing and the portrayal of her family and all the Pat Houston's um you know approved projects talking about Whitty Hutton, aka Nippy. But I'm not gonna say no more about that lady because too feisty. Don't like starts with a P, follows at.
Well, this was fun, y'all. It's been 2 hours.
Okay.
It's time for me to go to bed.
This was fun. We will see you guys on Wednesday, hopefully.
If y'all go live, I'll
We
be
trying to
listening
get it
somewhere.
together.
Going live
Is
tomorrow.
I was
Make
about to say,
sure
is
you guys check
anybody
out.
else going live? It's not busy at my job right now, but
Make sure you guys check out Ranting's game night. When is it? On Wednesday?
It's Wednesdays at 7:30. Ma'am, I'm about to call you to ask you something.
okay.
Well, I might want to call her too. I'm just kidding.
He is so messy.
We know this. We play.
And then
Put
what you got coming up next, Nola? That show that I watch.
Yeah, live on Sunday. Um, and I have Bell Collective that's I'm trying to get out tomorrow, along with I have a new series called Mess on the Net that will be starting next week. Well, we just taking messy stories on the internet
yay.
and talking about it and discussing it because some of the stuff I see on the internet, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so glad we didn't have this. I'm so glad we didn't have this. I feel like let's discuss it because the celebrities ain't really been giving us nothing to talk about.
Real talk.
They've been boring.
They've been
Hey, y'all
dry.
tune in. Y'all tune in next week because I have a few episodes of Yikes. I think I did about episode 2
Hmm.
last. So I think I have 3, 4, and 5 next week.
Hmm.
Uh, Yikes is one of my favorite things to do. And then I also have a new thing I'm doing from this website where I'm going to be like reviewing, or not reviewing, but answering questions from this website about these stories about these relationships.
Ooh.
Oh, Nola, I'm doing your favorite show tomorrow.
Ooh.
Are you reviewing Sisters?
Me? Yeah, but game night happens on Wednesday, and they show comes on Wednesday.
But
So
the first one started this week.
this week,
Yeah, just the new one came on this week.
the 31st, yeah. So game night happens on Wednesday, and so does the show. So I don't watch it until the next day.
But the third, this is the second.
Yeah, but um, also been
You've been
content.
busy.
Yeah, I've been busy.
Am
So I
I?
was like, I've been busy, so I haven't like been
Okay.
able to get to it yet.
I'm like, did I miss
Plus,
them? But I know like today.
no,
I got
yeah. So I was like, no, I've been busy, filming some stuff, trying to film a couple things ahead of schedule, so I could just set it up to after I edit it, set it up to premiere, and then gotta watch that show on Saturday.
I might have to watch it when we get off of here because I didn't know what the hell is happening.
Um, that show on Saturday, I go live right after it goes off, and Roja on Sunday, I go live right after it goes off.
Oh, he don't watch that show.
Yeah, he don't watch that show,
What
but
show? That hip hop Huntsville stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, that you don't watch it, so it's just like I go live right after that.
Okay.
Because I don't want to conflict with anybody's schedules or anything, so I go live right after that, and then for Real Housewives of Atlanta, because it's still fresh,
Yo, if
I
y'all
go.
want to watch that ghetto stuff, go over there to Nola Reed's channel and Ranting with Ricardo. They watch that ghetto shit and talk about it. I can't.
I do it for the views and the views alone.
The views didn't pay me to do it. Sorry.
The views made me do it. I do it for the
I would
views.
just watch to see Martell, and that's pretty much it. And I would just
Ugh.
talk about that.
Child, you would get a whole different outlook if you watched on that creature.
Yes. Oh, do you have Max? Used to be formerly known as HBO Max. You don't? Okay.
What's on
Well,
HBO Max? Do I need to get that?
They merged with Discovery Plus, so everything that was on like shows from
Yeah,
OWN.
I had Discovery.
You okay? Well, since they merged with Discovery Plus, you might have Max. You should try it and see. You go start that show from the first season, and you come back and tell
For
us how
sure.
that show, the ghetto show, and
I
tell
would
us how
never.
you like that.
I could never.
So you want
I watch Naked and Afraid over there. That's it.
so you want to live in delusional land about this man?
I would
He don't want to ruin his fantasy.
Ugh.
absolutely not. I like to keep my fantasies. Hey, Martell.
He is not a good fantasy.
Next thing you know, I'm gonna see him in a hoochie daddy suit.
Ooh,
I might be on the show, so you never know.
You ain't going over that show over my dead body.
If the cash is right, I'm going.
Child Carlos gonna pay right.
You know what? You wait till this is over.
Well, let me end this, y'all. Love you guys. We'll see you guys.
Love you too. See y'all at the next one.
See ya.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
I did it, 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 did it, you did it, I did it, you did it, did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it.